Welcome back to the Garden Girls podcast. I'm Dagny,
And I'm Meg.
and our friendship started in a group chat talking all things gardening, and now we're bringing you into the group chat. And today we're going to be spilling a little bit of tea, doing another What's Growing On episode, because I think a lot has happened past few weeks that we haven't really been able to catch up on.
Last time we did one, it was like dead in the middle of summer. Like we were going
Right.
through it.
And now we're in like the beginning of October. I haven't even really been able to film in like 4 weeks
Right.
because, yeah, it's a
Dagny,
series of unfortunate events.
Tell us
You want me to go
what's been
first?
growing on with what you're growing, and it's not
Yeah.
the garden.
No, this baby is causing drama. Everyone I've talked to at the hospitals has been like, this is what boys do. They're always causing drama in the womb. They're being naughty, and then they'll come out and they'll be perfect. I went to a routine OB appointment, and when you go to those, they use the little Doppler, and they're like, let's listen to his heart. And it's always so fun and cute. I'm like sitting there ready to record it on my phone so that Jeff can listen to it later. And she puts it on me, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. And my OB is so chill. She was just like, oh, it might just be the machine. I'll grab another one. She ended up getting like an ultrasound machine that she wheeled in. And we're like looking at his heart. And she's like, yeah, it's going pretty fast. So I'm going to have you go to the hospital. The hospital's like right next door to where her office is. And just, get it checked out. Like she's just acting like it's probably nothing. But let's just get it checked out.
And you're like,
so for hours.
What do you mean
well,
his heart
no,
is
at
going
first,
fast? What do you mean I have to go to the hospital? Like, what?
This must be the Zoloft, because at first I was honestly like, well, she says it's fine, so it's probably fine. And I'm like texting Jeff, and he's like, should I get out of work? And I was like, no, it's fine. For like 2 hours. I know. Yeah. No, that escalated pretty fast. So they had like the MFM at that hospital look on the ultrasound, and they were like, you know what? We're gonna send you into the city. Because thankfully, being in Massachusetts, we really do have access to like the best hospitals and doctors. And although we were already at a good hospital, there's a better one. So ended up, my appointment was at 10:30 in the morning. And by 9:30 at night, I had made it to the other hospital via ambulance and with Jeff. But yeah, it was crazy. And there was just a lot of like, I know, I was like, this feels excessive. And they were like using the lights. And I was like, you guys, I'm okay. Like, because this is the other weird thing. I feel totally fine. We had no indication from the outside that anything is wrong. I'm not even the patient. It's the baby. His heart was just racing. And they're like, well, you're pregnant, so we're going to use the sirens. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's like, we're like important? Zooming. I felt so important. It was a little embarrassing because I'm like, really, everything's fine. And like, the only reason they did it was because I was being transferred from hospital to hospital. And so it's like a liability to them if they're just like, go drive over there. It ended up being like a 5.5-day hospital stay for fetal SVT. He has a heart arrhythmia. So his heart should be between like 120 and 160 beats per minute. And it was going up to 280.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And staying
I didn't
there.
know how it was that high.
Now, which sounds really shocking, but at the same time, they pointed out to me, if you think about like when we exercise and our heart rate goes up, like this is the equivalent for them, because 150 is a baseline for them. It's not our baseline.
Right.
If they're already normally at 150, 280 is too fast, but it's not like enough where his heart's going to explode instantly. What they're concerned about is over time, the stress of it causing fluid to build up in his abdomen, because that can be really bad. It's called hydrops, and it's very, very bad. So there was a lot of uncertainty at that point whether he had that fluid buildup or not. So they ended up giving me the steroid shots to like deliver him early. And that was at the point where I was like, oh no, this is really maybe happening. And thankfully it did not. He's still cooking, but there was a good 24 hours there where it was like, if he has this fluid, we are going to deliver. And what was I, like almost 27 weeks at that point? Very, very early.
Yeah.
But basically they ended up giving me a medication to cross through the placenta to help him, because they can't give it to him directly very easily. And that medication affects my heart. So then they had to watch us for 5 days to make sure that my heart didn't start doing anything weird. I lost track of the number of ultrasounds we had, around 30. It was literally like,
that's a lot.
Over 5 days. Yeah.
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 Like 6 a day.
Yeah. It was nuts. Like those fetal monitors they strap around your belly, like to do a non-stress test. I was on those 24/7. But because he was so small, if I moved at all, they would lose his heartbeat. So I literally had to stay in the bed in the same position. And anytime I had to get up to pee or turn, like they had to come back in and readjust the monitors for 20 minutes.
That actually sounds horrifying. That sounds like my
It was
worst nightmare.
mentally much harder than I even realized in the moment. And I was really lucky that like the nurses kind of noticed it before I did, that I was like starting to kind of lose it. And they started like fighting the doctors in the hall outside my room to like get me more time off of the monitors so that I could like exist like a normal human and not be seen as a vessel. Yeah, it
Right,
was
and just be strapped there 24/7. That is actually
it
horrifying.
was a lot. It was a lot. That was also
Yeah, it
the week
sounds very traumatic.
it was also the week of our baby moon, which I mean, small trivial thing in comparison in the grand scheme of things. But we're not having a baby moon anymore. And yeah, but we were able to come home and he's been okay ever since. We just have a lot more appointments now, and that interfered with our ability to film the podcast as well as many other things.
That sounds like a dramatic and traumatic experience and
It was.
awful and everything. But I'm glad that you and baby are okay.
Yes.
You made it. You made it out.
We learned that it's like a pretty rare condition, but the hospital that we ended up at is like known for treating it to the point where people will fly in if their baby has this condition to be treated at this hospital. So the fact that we have it in our state is actually like crazy
Amazing.
lucky. Yeah.
Yeah, because would you have, if it was in a different place, like would they have made you travel to somewhere else?
Potentially, they might have sent me to this hospital. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that he's responding and not being dramatic anymore. Like people say that girls are dramatic. I'm sorry.
Oh no, he's on a roll. Yeah.
And so this is like a freak thing that can just happen. Like this doesn't mean that he's gonna have a high heart rate when he's born, right?
No. So it's totally random. It's when the heart is forming, it kind of forms like they described it like a balloon animal. It starts as one long tube and then it starts to fold in on itself to form the 4 chambers. And when those 4 chambers fuse and connect to each other, sometimes there's extra cells. They're literally microscopic that form a circle like a dog chasing its tail in the atrium. So basically, like the circuit was not completing properly and he was just pumping way too fast as a result. But there's a chance he comes out, doesn't have it at all on his own with no medication. There's a chance he has it when he's born, but he grows out of it over weeks, months, or a couple of years. They said it won't affect his ability to do anything he wants to do in the future.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear.
Like scary being pregnant because there's so many random things like that can happen.
I know, and my
Like
anxiety was really good at like thinking of all those scary things. This wasn't on my list. So there's really no point worrying because you never know which scary thing it's going to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's easier said than done though. I would be
I
an
know,
absolute
I know.
wreck. I mean, I haven't really been through anything like super traumatic like that.
Well, I'm glad. I mean,
But
you did last
the past
year.
couple of months. Yeah, that was pretty traumatic. Really, there's been nothing new with me other than my hip. Other than me being old and having the joints of a 90-year-old, I'm fine. I may or may not have to have hip surgery again. I already had surgery on this hip in 2017 because I had a bone spur that they think I was born with. I guess it just grew and grew over time to the point that it was slicing my labrum, and which is like the ligament or whatever cartilage that runs through your hip. And so they had to go in there and shave down the bone spur. They had to repair the labrum. It was like 3 pretty large tears and stitch it up. And so I had that in 2017, and then I had no hip pain for 8 whole years. Nothing. It was perfect. My hip was like cured, and I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. Until recently. Same pain is back, and it's like, this pain is so deep and achy, and it's in the joint, and it's like nothing touches it. I can't put anything topical on it. Like nothing gets down into the joint. So I recently just had a cortisone shot where they inject you with like a 5-inch needle in your
it's a big one.
It's a huge one. They shoot some steroids in there. But then I had a steroid flare, which I didn't even think that was a thing. But apparently,
of course you did.
With some people, it's like 10% of people you can have a lot worse pain before it gets better. And I was like in agony for like 2 whole days. But
great.
Anyway, yeah, I had an MRI and might have to have another one, may or may not have to have surgery, have a little bit of an impingement happening in there. My dad literally said copy paste because my dad has had the exact same surgery on the exact same hip for the exact same problem. My dad had to have a full hip replacement in his 40s. And so I feel like that's my future.
I really feel
Yeah.
like you should get a punch card for all the MRIs you've had.
Oh my God. I've
Like,
had in the last year, I don't even know how many I've had. How many have I had? Like 6. Yeah, like
it's
6.
wild.
I'm very familiar with the MRI machine now.
Right. That's what
Yeah.
I was saying about like all the ultrasounds. Like now I can like, you know, when you see the ultrasounds of babies and it's like, I don't know what I'm looking at. I do. I know what I'm looking at now. Yeah.
Yep. You know how to read everything.
Yeah. I have a medical degree now, actually.
Same. My doctors, like, they're like, how do you know so much? Well, I mean, I have a pre-med degree, but at the same time,
Sure.
also, I've just done so much research and have so much experience with like all kinds of medical stuff. My medical lore is so long. I could probably
It
do like a
is.
Risa Tisa style 50-part series
You
of my
should.
medical lore. I seriously am thinking about it. Okay. I have so many crazy like stories
Yeah.
of like almost dying and like all and everything. So maybe I'll do that one day.
I
Maybe
think
that'll
you should.
happen. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, that's the only thing new with me is potential hip surgery, I guess. But in the garden, things are finally chilling out. I am particularly really excited about my zucchini. I didn't get any zucchini in the summer because there were squash bugs, there were bean beetles, there were vine borers. So I decided this year to try to outsmart them, and I planted in August. At that point, all of them were kind of gone. Like
Yeah.
they're preparing for winter and stuff. And there's a few bean beetles still around, but it's not an infestation. But yeah, I have beautiful zucchini now. I just harvested one yesterday, and I'm gonna
What?
make these zucchini pumpkin cookies probably after this.
Oh my God, I need to eat that right now. You can't say things like
They're
that
so
in front of
good.
pregnant people.
They have like
Oh,
oats in them too. Zucchini
uh,
pumpkin oat. They're gonna be
send
amazing. I'll
me the
send you pictures.
recipe.
Yeah, I'll send you the recipe. So yeah, that has been a pleasant surprise. And also I did the same thing with cucumbers, and I have a second round of cucumbers coming in. So I think I've like perfected the timing of getting like a second round in where I can kind of just avoid all of these
Yeah.
pests. So I think next year I won't even plant squash, like summer squash in the summer. I won't even try. I'll just wait until
Yeah.
August.
It's just crazy to think like how much the weather has shifted that now you can be planting these things and harvesting them in October.
Mm-hmm. And
Like
we
these
still
are
have,
summer crops. Yeah.
right. I feel like it's still summer, but it's like more tolerable outside. It's
Yeah.
breezy. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. You know, like the sun is different in the fall.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I don't know how to describe that to
I
anyone, but
know.
it's different. And it's like,
It is.
yeah, you get it. You get what I'm saying.
Well, it's lower. I mean, it is
Right.
genuinely lower, but yeah, there's something about it. And like the mornings that we get this time of year, even in September, they're gorgeous. Like we have so much fog every morning and like everything's just glowy and warm and covered in dew. It's so beautiful.
And then the
I'm obsessed.
afternoons are like this dappled sunlight. I guess that's kind of what I'm talking about, like the sunlight. It just hits
Yes.
different instead of this humid haze just pounding down on you. It's like this gentle, warm sunlight that's
Hmm.
just kind of like making you so happy. Like, you know that guy, there's this guy I've been following on Instagram. I'm like obsessed with him. You know the guy who he is like, you know how in your 30s, like a good view just rips, bro. You have to go follow this
Oh,
guy. It's so funny. It's so good. He's figured out the algorithm to like, I don't know, he's grown exponentially in just a short amount of time.
not the
Hey,
couch.
no, ma'am. What are you doing? Get down. They've absolutely destroyed this couch, and it's okay because this was just like a thrifted couch. Okay, so his name is Gimpy, but it's like the I is a 1. So it's G1MPY. And his name
Okay.
is Josh Eckert.
Josh.
And his bio says
Okay.
eternally stoked. You have to go and watch
No,
it.
I've never seen this guy. That's too funny.
It's so funny. But anyway, I feel like the sunlight just rips in the fall.
I
That's
hear
what it
you.
is. Yeah.
The garden is like severely neglected. It's been neglected all year. Although I will say, if you ever want to find the motivation to clean up a severely neglected garden, host a party in it because I just had the baby shower in the garden this past weekend and it was beautiful. But I was looking around the week before, like, oh my God, this is really ugly and scary, and I have a lot of cleaning up to do. So it did kind of give me the opportunity and the motivation to reset things a little bit. Although I left like all the crispy like tomatoes and stuff in the ground just because I was like, I need this to look full and semi-green.
Right. Like I need this to still look like a garden.
Yeah, yeah, even though they're like, please help us, we're done. Put us in the compost.
Nothing will motivate you more to clean the garden than having people over.
Exactly. It works.
I'm the same way. I'm like, I can't have them looking at my garden like this. They can't see it like this. I'm gonna
But you know
clean.
what's funny? We're so self-critical because like even then people will come and be like, "Oh my God, your garden's so beautiful. I wish I had a garden like this." And it's like they just see it differently than we do because we're always looking at the things that are wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, "What do you mean? My tomatoes are doing terrible."
Yeah, my garden is looking like a graveyard about right now. Like I
Yeah.
have piles of things that I've cut back just everywhere. And I haven't like collected them and done anything with them yet.
The greenhouse, ever since I committed to just ripping everything out and replanting it, this is the best fall garden I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yes, only the greenhouse. Everything outside looks terrible, but
So
the
the
greenhouse
aphids never
is
came back.
no,
Oh,
no.
perfect.
It's completely cleared of any life, which is terrible and weird because there's no ecosystem. But in a greenhouse, you just can't have an ecosystem. It just doesn't work. There's like a million things in there. I chaos sowed the whole thing, so I don't know what's what half the time,
Oh,
and I
heck
don't even
yeah.
care. His looks so pretty. It's so green and lush and huge. Everything's happy.
Heck yeah. Like what all do you have in there? Just
Oh,
all the
there's
fall
like
stuff, like
red
lettuce
kale, bok
yeah.
choy, black Spanish radishes, lettuce, carrots, beets. I did some snap peas, trellising up. Mostly it's like a lot of random like mustards and like Asian greens that completely forgotten the name of. There's at least 3 kinds of kale in there. And I tried to put something purple in each bed so it's not just like green.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so much of what we grow in the fall is just like
It's just
like
green.
foliage. Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be so nice though, because that stuff is gonna probably overwinter, right? In your greenhouse. Yeah. So you'll be harvesting all that stuff like all winter
I
long.
know. I did postpart of me a big favor, let me tell you. Like, I'm so excited to be able to just go out there and post whatever I need. I'm
It's gonna be
obsessed.
great. I think I've decided I want a new greenhouse for
Yeah.
sure. Like mine, I went with like the cheapest, well, not the cheapest option, but I went with a cheaper option and it's been up for 5 years now. And I feel like it's like really starting to show the wear and tear now. And I want like a more sturdy greenhouse, but also we may be moving in the next few years.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be moving in the next few years because I'm so tired of my neighborhood. Like I think people think that I live like on a farm or something. No, like I live in the city. I have so many neighbors and they are so obnoxious. We have one neighbor that's great. My Filipina neighbor, I love her.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the neighbors that are behind me and the other on the other side of me, they're so obnoxious and like they have teen kids that are just like little baddies and they like to steal. And I think one of them has a
No.
gun because we've been hearing like gunshots. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'll be like out in the garden and just hear gunshots. And I've become so numb
Oh,
to it that is also kind of scary. Then I'm
that's
just
not good.
like, yeah, like I'll just hear gunshots and I'll just like go back to doing what I'm doing. I mean, I feel like the United States in general, we're all kind of becoming numb to these
Sure.
things.
Yeah.
But for it to be in my own neighborhood and just so often, I'm like, I really just need to get out of here. I really just want to leave.
So move and then get a greenhouse, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was my original thought is I think I'm going to save it. I'm going to try to get maybe one last couple years out of this one.
You just use yours for seed starting, right?
Yeah. And like a shed. It's like our actual shed is like full of stuff that we store from our house.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I need like a proper gardening shed kind of to store
Well, that's right.
other
And like
stuff.
with my greenhouse, it's like a workspace too. Like,
Yeah.
because we have so much more even than any gardeners. I feel like things get sent to us and we're testing things. And so there's just always piles. If I didn't have the greenhouse, my house would be overtaken.
Yeah, that's kind of how my shed is. Like I'll put all the stuff, like boxes and stuff in there, but I have the chicken stuff too that I
Oh,
have to find
yeah.
somewhere to put. So like my greenhouse is being used for like chicken feed and chicken snacks and chicken nesting boxes and chicken bedding and like all of that. And like I need like 3 sheds that
You need a barn.
I need a barn. I need a barn, yeah. I'd love a barn.
Me too.
But yeah, speaking of the chickens, they're molting right now.
Oh boy.
And that's kind of like where the chickens, they shed all of their feathers or something, like a lot, not all of them, but a lot of them. And they look really scraggly. Like
Yeah.
they look really
Not cute.
ghostly. Like just they, they look
Like,
like
are
they've
you
they've
okay?
seen some shit. Like they've really been through it. They look really pitiful. And I feel bad for them too because it's like it's painful for them
Oh
too because
yeah.
like the feathers that grow back in, apparently it's painful, and so they're just kind of they stop laying eggs for a little while,
Oh
so
my
they're like kind of going through it right now. And also the chicken yard just looks like there's been some kind of massacre. Like there's
Yeah.
feathers everywhere. So
Are the other birds coming in and stealing them for their nests?
not that I've seen, but they probably are. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they are.
How often does it happen that they molt?
Once a year in the fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I think in the spring, sometimes they can have like a fake molt, not a fake molt, but like a
Mhm.
pre-molt or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, usually once a year in the fall. And then some of them will do like a hard molt where they just look sick. Like they lost all of their feathers. I have one chicken that is going through a hard molt and she just looks so pitiful. And then the
So
other
sad.
ones, they're kind of just like losing some feathers. It's not really a ton, but
Can you imagine if we did that and like all our hair just fell out and we had to regrow it all at once?
oh, I couldn't imagine. I'm actually kind of doing that right now.
Well, yeah.
Because my MS medication, one of the side effects is hair loss, like a lot of hair shedding. And I might actually be switching because I don't think I can deal
Yeah.
with it. Like my hair,
Yeah.
I know it doesn't look like it,
No, it
but
doesn't.
my hair has thinned out so much, like half of my hair. When I put my hair in a ponytail, it is
Mhm.
so thin. And like there's some
Mhm.
thinning up here. Like, I don't know. Every time I brush my hair, there's just like a huge clump that comes out. And I'm like, if
Yeah,
this
it's
keeps up,
freaky.
I'm not going to have any hair left.
I also have very thick hair to begin with. So anytime I've lost hair from like my thyroid stuff or something, it's like we feel it so much more than other people see it, but it's still real. Yeah.
And your hair, like, I don't know. My hair just means a lot to
Yeah.
me. I just, it's,
I get,
it's emotional for sure, just seeing it come
Mm.
out. But so I feel the chicken's pain. I'm sure that they probably
Yeah.
feel the
You
same
guys
way.
can bond over this.
Yeah. They're probably like, oh my God, all my feathers. Other than that, it's just, I still am harvesting a crap ton of peppers. I took down most of my tomatoes. I said there's like one tomato left. It's like a cherry variety. The zucchini and cucumber, but it's like mainly peppers right now. And then I have, a broccoli and cauliflower, which I've always been a no spray gardener. I've always
Oh my
said that.
goodness. What is about to
This year, I'm kind of thinking of spraying BT on my cauliflower and stuff because the cabbage caterpillars are just
Yep.
crazy this year. Like there's so many. There's too many.
do
They're
it and
infiltrating
spray?
and I kind of just want to spray. Yeah.
BT isn't even like anything.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
that's fine.
It's organic. It's like a biological warfare kind
Yeah.
of thing. I think I'm going to do it.
Do it. Have you planted any perennials?
Not yet, but I want to plant. Okay, I also decided that I'm gonna put fruit trees in the chicken area.
Yep.
I got
Mhm.
this idea from Jacques from Epic Gardening
Okay.
because he
Yeah.
has
Oh
fruit
yeah, I've
trees
seen
in
that.
his chicken area, and like they're not gonna peck at the trees because they're trees, but they'll kind of like fertilize the fruit trees too with their poop.
Yeah.
And then I can just put chicken wire over or like around the tree so they don't dig it out because they'll definitely dig it out. But I think I'm going to get those like circular birdies beds, like the tree surrounds, and
Yep.
then plant a couple of fruit trees in there. I think I'm going to replant another peach because I think I told you my peach tree, it got like some kind of borer.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So I think that one is dead. It's toast. I mean, it's still standing, but I think it's not going to produce fruit
Yeah.
again. So yeah. So I think I'm going to plant a peach and maybe another fig because I love figs. Or I might move my fig that is in the grow bag to that. And then that way, that'll also give the chickens some shade in the summer. And I'll keep the trees just like really small. And then I kind of want to plant like a huckleberry.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. That I've never had them. I don't know. I don't even know if I like them
Yeah.
or not, but I might just order one.
They're very inoffensive. I think you would like them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They've just got good berry flavor.
Yeah. Are you planting any perennials?
I just planted a whole bunch actually. So I still have to do some transplanting of perennials. because a big part of my strategy going into next year is to try to incorporate more perennials and more natives into the elevated beds so that I don't have as much square footage to be replanting every year because it's like getting out of control. I have 15 raised beds. This is not necessary. So I replanted the 2 veg trugs already. I did the jelly bean blueberries. So I
Oh,
put
heck
4
yeah.
of those in. And then I did a ground cover of strawberries around them and kind of like 1 row along the backside of walking onions. I'm hoping those can kind of provide more privacy until the bushes like fill in more. But yeah, those beds look great, and now I'll never have to touch them again. I may just throw in some calendula and chamomile seeds a little later in the fall to let them overwinter, and hopefully they'll just come up next spring and I won't have to do anything in those beds. And I also added a baby cakes dwarf blackberry. Supposedly these don't spread. I still kept it in a pot. I actually put the pot in the bed, so it looks like it's planted in the bed, but it's not.
Okay.
So I'm hoping like that will help because it's not a vining variety. It will just make like a 3-foot-ish bush. And supposedly, yeah. Yeah, so I'm interested to see how it works because sometimes those bushel and berry like hybrids, especially the dwarfs, like I see people on Reddit be like, you sacrifice a lot of flavor or it doesn't actually do what it says it's going to do. It's much bigger than it says. So we'll see how I feel about that.
It's called baby cakes.
Yeah.
I might try that because mine, I regret it. I regret ever planting a blackberry in the ground because it's popping up everywhere. I mean, it's fine. Like I just pull them out, but it's just, I would rather not have to do that.
I never planted blackberries and there's just blackberries in our yard. Like it cannot be controlled because the birds are bringing it from other places. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm hopeful, but that is part of the tea garden too because you can use the leaves and you can use the berries for beverages. So I'm hoping a lot more of what I grow will be for drinks versus like meals. I also planted my first rose.
Oh, your first rose?
No, I'm scared of roses, so I've never planted them. I don't know. Something about like just they have to be pruned a specific way and they have these weird, horrible diseases.
They
I did
don't
it
have to be pruned a certain way. I mean, like
Yeah,
they look
I know.
best when they're pruned a certain way, but like I don't really, I kind of just let mine grow wild and they look great. I mean, I like the wild look, but
Chaos. Yeah.
they are really prone to disease though. I do have one that it comes up like it blooms every year, but then it has some kind of disease and it just looks awful. Like the foliage looks awful, but the blooms look pretty. The foliage looks like crap. I'm like, you're still blooming, so what do I do?
Right. I only got like dwarf varieties of everything because I'm putting it in these elevated beds. So everything's supposed to stay under like 2 or 3 feet. So I got a dwarf knockout rose. It's like a petite.
Those are pretty.
I think it's supposed to be like 2 feet tall and it's like bright red, tiny rosebuds. So I can use those in tea. And then I also got some marjoram, some winter savory. I feel like there was another one, but I'm going perennial crazy this year. I'm still going to transplant a bunch of other things.
That's great. Perennials are the best way to go. I did sprinkle some perennial seeds. I forgot about that. I did some yarrow, which I want more yarrow in my yard. I did some more milkweed because I finally had monarchs in my yard all like for months. They're still out there. But my milkweed was like decimated by aphids, my one patch that I have. And so I want to plant more to have them in multiple areas so that one can be kind of a trap crop kind of. And then I'll still have some for the butterflies because the butterflies did not. They weren't able to lay eggs on that because it was just completely covered. And it was like the little orange aphids.
That's what I hate about aphids when they do that. They just, everything's nasty. And then it gets like sooty. Like they cover everything in like that weird mildewy stuff. I don't know.
I hate them. I hate them when they're in large numbers like that. Is really gross. Like it's like nightmare fuel. Kind of. Yeah. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that's how the greenhouse was. So I was like trapped inside with them. It was awful. And I didn't realize like I thought I also had like a whitefly problem in there or something. No. The aphids had like shed their skin. And like they just like left it on everything.
Speaking of whiteflies, I don't know why those always come out the woodwork in the fall. My tomatoes, the ones that are still with me, are covered in whiteflies. And I hate white. They're also nasty.
So I have never had whiteflies before this year. And I think it's because people ask me all the time, like, what do you do about them? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have them. They can't overwinter here. So we don't really get them unless they arrive on like an imported nursery plant. So there were some on a plant that I had bought, had been shipped from a southern state. And when I pulled it, they like exploded everywhere. I was like, oh, I guess this is the problem. But then they disappeared. So it's not really an issue here, the way that you guys have it.
We have it. And they seem to only come up in the fall for me. Like every fall. Like I don't see them in the summer or spring. It's just the fall. I don't know why. I mean, it's probably their life cycle somehow. Really know that much about whiteflies.
All I know is they're terrible.
They're just so frustrating. And it's weird how like each season has its different bugs. Like spring, I feel like aphids. Like they're like the first pests to come out in the spring. And then summer is like all the other ones that are like straight from hell. Fall is leaf-footed bugs and whiteflies, the aphids, but only on the milkweed. I don't know why.
That's weird. Why do they want the milkweed that bad?
I don't know. I need to look that up because...
Well, milkweed is a really sappy plant. I wonder if that's why, because they like to suck the sap out of things.
Probably. I just learned some really cool facts about milkweed that I did not know that you...
Oh, really?
I didn't know that you can make like almost like fiber out of it. Like you can make, not fiber, like woody fiber that you can make nets. Like
with the stuff that the seeds are attached to, or like the stems?
Like the stems.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Apparently that people, like thousands of years, people have used milkweed for fishing net, all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I want to do that now.
Yeah, I know.
I have it on my list to take like the floaty part of the seed pods. I wanted to try to spin that into yarn because it really has a texture of like silk. That sounds easier to like somehow use the inner part of the stem.
But really, that's all that's going on in the garden.
There's a lot more time to just enjoy the garden, I feel like.
Yes. I actually like being outside now because in the summer, no. I get like seasonal depression twice a year. I get it in like the very pits of winter, but then also in the summer.
I read an article about that. It's becoming like a thing.
Yeah,
because of climate change.
So hot, right?
Yeah,
because of because it is getting just so hot, so miserable to be outside in the summer.
Yeah,
and I felt that this year, like But now I'm so happy. I'm in a peak.
All right, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. You can find Meg at Meg Grows Plants, and I'm at The Cottage Peach. You can find the podcast most places that you listen to your podcasts. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, all the things. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.